Today I'm going to walk you through how to use Tasty Pins, a fabulous plugin by WP Tasty for food bloggers, and this will encourage your readers and subscribers to share your recipes on Pinterest, and it's a great way to promote yourself, so I highly recommend you check it out. The first couple of features I'm going to go over today with you are the settings for Tasty Pins, the Pinterest follow box and banner, and the ability to disable pinning on certain images. So let's get started. The first thing that we're looking at here is the settings, and so you can see these are all the settings for how it's going to appear on your images, on your pinnable images within your website and your blog posts. So you have the options for the Tasty Pins hover button, and by default it looks like this, where they can see this little Pinterest logo and save, so they can save your image to Pinterest. But you can also do a custom option, and that has the Pinterest logo, and then you can select a color. You can type in a hex code for whatever color you want there, and then there's the button shape. You can change that to square, round, rounded rectangle, and you can also change the location of where this button appears to prompt people to save your image to Pinterest. So then you can also adjust the image overlay shadow, yes or no. Custom button label. If you hit yes, then you can type in a message here like save this image to, or save, you have a little character limit here, so save to Pinterest. That'll work. And then if you like, you can set a minimum image width and a minimum image height, and the hover button will not appear on an image smaller than whatever the height and width you specify, which sometimes that might be ideal because Pinterest has certain dimensions and aspect ratio that they recommend for pins. So they recommend an aspect ratio of 2:3, and there are certain dimensions that might work better, so you can enter that in here if you like. I'm going to skip that for now, but if you want to adjust those settings, you can. So I'm going to hit Save Changes, and that will save those changes, those options, for any image that you want people to be able to save to Pinterest. And then under Follow Box, this is what shows up when people click to save your image to Pinterest. So that's really nice because it automatically displays this pop-up, which allows them to follow you on Pinterest. It prompts them to do that. You can set it on or off. Also, you can set the background image to, let's see, I have that set to the main image on my homepage, but you could choose any one of the images in your media library. And we'll try to go all the way down so I can select that image that is already in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and select that image again, and then you can see it shows up there. Also, you can select an image for your logo. So yeah, there's these images, that you can use. You can select any image you want. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, my logo, and then you can set the background color by typing in a hex code or adjusting these sliders. You can also set the color for the background of the follow button and the text color, and put in the name of your Pinterest account, your Pinterest account description, and then the URL of your Pinterest account right there. And if you are a Share a Sale affiliate, you can put your ID in there, and that will track things, on that program. And you hit save, and then you can go to your banner. That's the next thing that I was going to talk about, is the Pinterest follow banner. So that is really cool. That shows up on every image on your website. Um, when people see an image on your website, they see this, pin this at the bottom of your image, and you can set that on or off. I have mine on. You can set a background color for how that shows up on the bottom of your image. You can set the color of the text and icon, and then you can write, pin this recipe, pin this article, pin this blog post, whatever you want. It has to be less than 20 characters, but you've got some options to work with there, and then you can hit save, and that'll save your changes. And so those are all of your settings, basic settings for customizing the way that your pinnable images are appearing on your blog. Now I'm going to show you something over here. If you go to posts, and some of these posts might not be a recipe. So I just set my banner to say pin this recipe, but I don't want every image to say that, because not everything I post is a recipe. Most of my posts are recipes, but sometimes I post, a survey or something about blogging or web design. So I'm going to use this as an example, the Reader's Choice survey post. If I click to edit that, and then I click on this image here, you'll see I have disable pinning selected, okay? And if I were to deselect that and hit update, and then I opened a new window and I went to my blog, and then I scroll down, go all the way down to, the Reader's Choice survey. There we go. So you'll see that this image has a pin this recipe option at the bottom, which isn't very fitting, because this is not a recipe, so I really don't want that displayed there. And I could edit that. I could edit that text on that banner to say whatever I wanted. So I could make it just pin this article, and then that might be more applicable to every single post. So I may do that at some point, but for now, I think I'd like to go ahead and just disable pinning on this post so that doesn't show up. And I'm going to hit update. So if you ever have any images that are not ideal for Pinterest on your website, then you can just disable pinning for those particular images. And now, as you can see, when I go to my blog in a new browser window and I scroll down to the Reader's Choice survey post, you'll see that the pin this recipe is no longer there. And so that's a great way to just tell tell it not to make certain images pinnable on your website. So that is really useful. Cool feature of the WP Tasties Tasty Pins plugin is the Pinterest Repin ID. This is neat because whenever people go to your blog post and they are repinning that, pinning your blog post from the images throughout, you can start to track that by associating those pins with a pin that you already have posted yourself on Pinterest. So it'll show up like a repin of that post, and I'll show you how to do that. when you go to Pinterest and you click on the post that you want, and you click up at the top, there should be a series of numbers that you see right after that Pinterest.com pin in the URL, and so you want to copy those numbers, and that is going to be your Repin ID. So you want to copy and paste that into the Pinterest Repin ID section and hit update. And now what that will do is whenever anytime somebody clicks this image to share it on Pinterest, it will show up as a repin of that pin that you have for that recipe or that article that you're posting. So that's a really handy feature just to track those repins on your Pinterest page. Continuing on with the WP Tasties Tasty Pins plugin, I'm about to show you guys some really cool features that will really boost your Pinterest images, your presence on Pinterest, everything like that. So let's get started. If you click into an image on your post, you will see over on the right hand side a place to enter a Pinterest title, so that when people pin this image and pin your post, that's what will show up. So I'm just going to put the title of the recipe, turmeric soup with white beans and vegetables. And then you'll see Pinterest text. This is your pin description. Now this is super important for getting your pin to show up in search results on Pinterest. So if people are searching for soup recipes or vegetarian soup recipes and you really want your pin to show up, you need to make sure that you include those keywords in your pin description there. So I would go ahead and type out something like this special vegetarian and vegan friendly soup recipe is the epitome of health food. It's kind of a variation of what I have there. You've got a 500 character limit, so you want to be mindful of that, but that's plenty to work with, really. So then I'm going to try to copy and paste some of this next paragraph that I had just below the image and see how that works. Okay, so I'm gonna add a few hashtags. And that just went over a bit, so maybe I'll add some hashtags in here. You could always turmeric, that's good. You could add a few more hashtags, as you see fit. Let's see. Yeah, so I think I'm done with that for now. Can also set alt text describing the image, so I'm just going to say turmeric soup with white beans and vegetables in a pink bowl. And you can adjust the aspect ratio and the resolution of the image, but I'm going to skip over that for now. Then you want to scroll down And if you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the page, you see this Tasty Pins section right here. And here is where you can set hidden images. And so a hidden image would be like an alternative image for this post or this recipe other than the one that appears in your post. And this works really great if, especially if the image in your post is not an ideal size for Pinterest, like the one I have is a little bit more of a square shape. And so I really want to select one that has more of that 2:3 aspect ratio that Pinterest is looking for, and I have one uploaded to my media library right here, so I'm just going to select it. This is what I have when I do my Pinterest post on this recipe. This is the image I use, and then I'm going to go ahead and click this Force Pinning of Hidden Images checkbox. And what that does is basically that tells Tasty Pins that whenever your readers are clicking on that image to pin it, it's going to display, by default, it's going to display that hidden image rather than the one in your post. So that works really well if you just don't think that the image in your post is ideal for Pinterest and you'd really rather them use this image that another other image that you've uploaded as your hidden image. Now you'll see in this section with the hidden image, you'll see default Pinterest title and default Pinterest text. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste that same information that I had before for the title and the description down here. Okay, and then I'm going to copy and paste this description. And let's see, add saves my vegetarian and friendly soup recipes. And we'll click update. And so that is being updated now, and we have our default Pinterest title and text there. And now let's try to test this out. So if I went to Kitchaissance.blog, and I scroll down, it should be one of my very first posts, so it'll probably be on this page. Yeah, so it's right here. If I go to this post, and then I scroll down, and I go to pin this recipe, you'll see that that is in fact the image that's showing up. It's that hidden image that I specified. It doesn't show up in the actual blog post itself, but it shows up here because this is the image that is going to show up when people post it on Pinterest, which is great because it's the right size and everything, and it has the title up there and advertisement for the blog, so that's good. I'm really happy with that. And so yeah, so that's it. There's a lot of great features to WP Tasty's Tasty Pins plugin. It's great for SEO because you've got that alt text that you can add. You've got the pin descriptions that you can add. This is really great because ordinarily you would have to do some sort of complex coding thing on your website in order to be able to specify all of this stuff for Pinterest. So it's really cool that you're able to just use this Tasty Pins plugin and just specify all these settings right in here in the plugin without having to code anything on your website. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you will be interested in purchasing WP Tasty's Tasty Pins plugin from the affiliate links in the description. I would very much appreciate your support. I earn a small commission from your purchase. And yeah, this is just a great plugin to have for a food blog, but I think it would also be a great plugin to have for any type of blog, really, because as you've seen, it's just amazing what it lets you do in order to be able to set everything up the way you want it for sharing on Pinterest. So whether you're blogging about food or travel or fashion, I mean, I think that this would be a really great thing to invest in on WP Tasty website. So if you want to go check that out, I highly recommend it. Thanks so much. Stay tuned.